Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today is another Vlogoween video, which not that anybody's going to notice, but it's coming to you a day late. And that is because both work and just unmotivation have contributed to the fact that I have fallen really far behind in filming these Vlogoween videos, because I am literally filming this video 2 hours past the time this video should have been uploaded. So if that's any idea how far behind I am, there you go. I also forgot to charge my camera battery, so I know that's going to start flashing at me soon. So I thought to myself, what is a video that is really easy to film, fast to edit, like doesn't take a lot of preparation, and for me, that's always going to be a tag video. And frankly, I haven't done a tag video in quite a while. So today I'm going to be doing the Cozy Autumn book tag. I just saw Vanessa over at Paper Fairy do this on her channel, so I thought I would give it a go. This is going to just be super chill and laid back. Like, I literally just got home from being at work for 8 hours, so I'm feeling real sleepy and I don't feel like editing this video a lot, so it's probably going to be real casual, probably unedited. I'm sorry if it's like out of focus right now because I'm like a little blurry-eyed at the moment, so yeah, apologies for this video not being very professional. But anyways, without further ado, let's jump into the questions, which are obviously all autumn themed, which I love. So the first question is, what book always reminds you of fall/autumn? And for me, like without a doubt, the first book that popped into my head was Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I've actually only read this book once in my life, and I definitely need to give it a reread soon. And I think as soon as the movie comes out on Netflix, the new adaptation of it, I think after I watch that, I'm gonna read this again, or I might read this before I watch it, I'm not sure yet. But this book always reminds me of the fall, not just because it has kind of an autumnal cover, and not just this cover, like most Rebecca covers remind me of fall, but also, even though I don't know exactly when this book is supposed to be set, I've always imagined it around the autumn time, and this is also a very like atmospheric book, which is also something that I always associate with the fall for whatever reason. But again, to go back to the idea of it being like a cozy book tag, this book just hits me with all of the cozy feelings because it's a mystery on one hand, but it's also a romance, and so you get like all of the cozy romance feelings, but then you also get all of the cozy mystery feelings. So this is just like a really cozy book for me, and it definitely reminds me of the fall. That was a very long-winded answer, and I said this video was going to be quick, so clearly I was mistaken. Question 2 is, what is your favorite autumnal book cover? Again, not to repeat an answer, but this strikes me as a kind of autumnal cover. But to avoid repeating, I am going to say The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. This actually isn't super autumnal as much as it's kind of a Halloween-y cover. Why am I holding it on this side of my head when clearly I've got so much more space over here? This is more of a Halloween cover. It's got a lot of like cobwebs mixed in with the gate, but this is like a spooky gate into like an old mansion. Like, you have to read the book to get it, but you can clearly tell by the cover that it's very autumnal. And actually, I've just spotted, hold on a second, but I've got the dust jacket here for Blood and Honey. This is the second book in the Serpent and Dove series, and is this not a super pretty autumnal cover also? So yeah, there's 3 answers for you. This video is a mess. Alright, moving on to the next question. What is your favorite autumnal drink to read with? Now, I'm gonna be honest, the only thing I will ever drink while reading is coffee, so that's just what I'm gonna say, but I drink that all year round, not just in the autumn, but that's literally the only thing I will ever eat or drink while I'm reading. So I'm just gonna have to say plain old coffee, although I always put peppermint mocha creamer in my coffee. That's literally the only creamer I will have in my coffee. So there's my answer for that. Kind of boring. Question 4, do you prefer to read late at night or early in the morning? And this is kind of a mix of both. If I'm able to wake myself up in the morning enough to read, then I do actually like reading in the morning with a cup of coffee, but most of the time I'm gonna end up sleeping in, or I have to wake up early to go to work. So usually I end up reading at night, but I'd say that I do actually prefer reading in the morning with a cup of coffee. I just don't do it very often. I wish I did. Question 5 is Halloween is coming. What is your favorite spooky read? So for me, this question kind of implies a book that I would like reread as a spooky read, and I'm not a big rereader, but there is one book that I've read twice so far, and I do plan on reading it for a third time this year, and it's definitely a spooky book, and that is The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories by Tim Burton. This is actually a collection of poetry. The cover is cloth, and it has collected quite a lot of dust, so I hope that you cannot see that in the camera because it's honestly kind of disgusting and I'm gonna have to do something about that. But I love this book so much, which is no surprise because I love Tim Burton, I love his movies, I love his characters. To me, this is like Dr. Seuss, but if it was, you know, creepy. That's exactly what his poems remind me of. So this is definitely my favorite spooky read, and just to give you a little inkling of the kind of poetry that's in here, I'll read you the first poem because it's actually one of my favorites in the book, and it's called Stick Boy and Match Girl in Love. So it says, Stick Boy liked Match Girl. He liked her a lot. He liked her cute figure. He thought she was hot. But could a flame ever burn for a match and a stick? It did quite literally. He burned up pretty quick. So if you don't like that kind of poetry, then you're not going to like this book. But if you want something spooky for the holiday season, by holiday I mean the Halloween season, then you should definitely pick this book up. So the next question is, I keep going on tangents for all of these books. The next one is, what is the ultimate comfort read for you? Once again, I'm not that big of a rereader, so I guess for this time of year, it would be this book. But one of the books that I have reread the most in my entire life is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, but usually I read that during the holiday season, so like Christmas time, but that is definitely like my biggest comfort read. I just don't usually read it in the autumn, I usually read it at Christmas time. Question 7 is, what is your favorite autumnal reading snack? Once again, as I said, I don't have anything that I eat or drink really while I'm reading except for coffee. So I literally don't have an answer for this question. Question 8 is, what is your favorite autumnal candle to burn whilst reading? Once again, I'm going to be pretty boring, but I'm not very picky when it comes to what candles I burn, so long as they have pumpkin in the title. Whether it's like sweet cinnamon pumpkin, or pumpkin caramel, or like pumpkin spice. Literally any pumpkin scented candle, doesn't matter what other scent is mixed in with it, so long as it's pumpkin, I'm probably burning it while I read. The next question is, when you're not reading, what is your favorite autumnal activity? And I don't have, again, anything like specifically that I do in the autumn, but one thing that I do tend to do more towards the autumn, just because during the summer it's way too hot for me, is I do archery. I don't do it super often, but it is one of those things that I usually only do during the autumn. So if you didn't know, I also really like to do archery. And then finally, question 7 is, what is on your autumn/fall reading list? And honestly, there are so many stinking books, it's not even funny. Just to give you a little hint, I am currently reading Blood and Honey. Hopefully I will finish this before the end of October. And then the other book that I definitely have on my TBR is It by Stephen King. This is a chunker of a book, and at the moment, autumn is basically, well, the season of autumn isn't going to be over, but like Halloween and autumn for me ends on October 31st, which is in 10 days. So I have 10 days to finish that book and read the entirety of this one, which is over 1,000 pages. So, wish me luck. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank goodness, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm losing my voice right now. So I'm sorry if this was just a train wreck of a video. Hopefully you still liked it a little bit anyway. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
You hear that, Samson?